we're talking about, again, the muscle types. So right on the end, we have that white muscle, that chicken flying into the tree. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the super red, super lean, mean fighting muscles. And then in the middle, we've got really important muscles for the different forms of endurance sports. And Matt, mountain biking, that's a high power sport as well as an endurance sport. So mixed muscle starts to be really important there.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of times a really, really high power output, and then a lot of times a really, really low power output. And the trick is being able to recover in between those.
Yeah, so these mixed muscles are really important because they're really fluid in the way they're able to be trained. If we're just a pure strength-based athlete, you can grow them and make them more power-based. And if you're an endurance athlete, within the aerobic training and aerobic development we're trying to pursue with our training to become better endurance athletes, we can make them a lot more efficient, a lot more mitochondrial dense, and so we can utilize more oxygen, more fat, produce more of that ATP, and then become faster, better athletes. But we can also still use them to be a bit more power inclined, depending on what our sport requires.
Dr. Matt and I started the Performance Advantage podcast to help runners, riders, and outdoor competitors integrate sports science more effectively into their training and racing.
So over the last few years, Dr. Will and I have covered topics like the lactate threshold, training zones, power meters, and fatigue. Now we're condensing these popular and misunderstood topics into practical courses.
Our courses take our same podcasting style approach to learning and education, and we break it down into bite-sized chunks that you can digest either all at once or as practical little resources to use as and when you need them.
So the biggest difference between our course and any other course you might have taken is that we don't lecture you. It's a conversation between Will and I, and we're explaining complex sports science principles in an easy to understand manner.
Yeah, we also integrate how we use them on the regular. Our courses come with a certificate of completion as well as a lot of takeaway resources such as training plans, scientific articles, and quizzes that you can do to check your progress along the way.
Our sports science courses are available now. Register on performanceadvantagepodcast.com for immediate access.